Alrighty. As you can see, I am cleaning my yard so I can get some trains along here and put my yard into a service here. I gotta get all these tracks cleaned. I got a long way to go here. Tell you that. But of course, I'm using the old trusty Bright Boy. These things work great. And I have to get this all clear here. And as you can see here, what I've used to paint my track are two Krylon colors. I have camouflage brown and just regular flat brown is what I painted these sidings over there. Regular flat brown and then the camouflage brown for the two mainline tracks here, and I sort of sprayed a little of it on the first track for the arrival departure yard. Alright, and then I sprayed the rails with Model Master Rust. Camouflage brown, that's what I painted. The track, the mainline track, it's like a railroad tie brown, close to it. And then the farther tracks over here in the yard, I used this color right here, flat brown. This is just a flat brown Rust-Oleum. Got these both at Home Depot. And then in my airbrush to spray the rust, so this is my favorite rust color here, is Model Master here, Rust. And this is this is 1785. This is a solvent based, so I don't think you can get it anymore. They do make it in a water base, an acrylic base, but it doesn't look the same. So anyway, that's the three colors I use so far to paint my track, and then I'll dry brush some gray. Okay, now when I spray with my airbrush, the first thing I use this airbrush here. It's a V. It's got a with a number 1 nib. I think that's the only one you can get on this one. This one sprays a very small line. I get right down and open it up just a little bit. Just spray a little bit, and I just go right along. Take my finger here. I put my finger down on the ground. Keep me level, and I just go right along like that. Just letting just a little bit of paint out right next to it. So right along here, I can put this finger on the other rail. You're going to hit right here, and you're going to just a little bit, and you go right along just like that. And that's the way I spray my rust. Okay. When I dry brush the gray onto my ties, as you can see, like right there, that tie right there, you can see it a little bit here. It brings out the detail somewhat here, right there too. You can see some on there. You can see some over here. And what I use for that is Model Master. I use medium gray, sort of that color. You can use something lighter, or a little darker, but don't use white, because when I took graphics in college and commercial art and everything, I was told never to use straight white or straight black. I also use these markers here. I use Herrero Tie Brown, which is, I believe, right there. I colored the tie so it looks newer. That tie right there. That one right there. And I also use some Rail Brown, I'll take this and put this on the side of the rail where I have the rust, just to give it some contrast. And basically that's how I paint my track. This little area track here pretty much is ready for ballast. Okay, I'm going to spray my track. Show you how I do that. Spray, let's move in a little closer here. And I have a pizza box up for the overspray. And as you can see, those little white strips under the ties are just pieces of styrene to super elevate the curve a little bit. Krylon camouflage brown. And let's see, let me just hit it real quick. Make sure we get both sides. Make sure you cover everything, which I did. Wait for it to dry. And this is the closest color to railroad tie brown that I found. So that's where I left off before. I'm going to spray the rust next, and that's what it looks like when it's dried and everything. But obviously these two tracks have to dry. Here we go. Let's see. You watch what I do here. I get real close. I get it. Want to just do a little bit of clean out so I get it where I want it, just like that. And then I just, gotta keep it steady here. It's that easy. You just gotta have a steady hand. Try it again on the other side. If you overspray a little bit, you can come back with the markers. You come back with the markers. And I hit the, I touch it up with the markers. Try to get in a little closer here, guys. Try it like that, right? Start off right here. Just when it begins to come out, and hold it right there. You can let off a little and go slower. The more you can actually, go faster, but you got to let more paint out. Here, you gotta take your time. It's a lot faster than painting with a brush, and it looks 100% better as far as I'm concerned. Okay, here's the finished product here. I went all the way around this curve here. We sprayed everything. My compressor was set at like, I don't know, I was at like 28 pounds, I think. So 25 to 30 pounds, depending on your airbrush and, you know, whatever. But there we go. Now, if you want to come in here with the railroad tie brown, okay, you just touch it up a little bit. Touch that up a bit like that. these ends here. I just do little dots and streaks. Okay, if you saw that photograph I took of the actual river line passing siding and main line through Newburgh, New York, you could see that on the sides of some of the ties you had like a whitish gray color where a weathering had made the ties look a little gray. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to, actually there's my gray paint. This is a medium gray. I'm going to dry brush, got it on my brush. And then I'm just going to do this here. That's a bit much. Just wipe it off if you don't like it too much. We shall dry brush. You don't have to do every one. Just do a few in a row and then do the center. Let me zoom in for you here so you get a better look at this here. What I'm doing here. There you go. Ready? I don't know if you can see how that brings out the detail. See? There it is. Brings out the tie detail a little bit. Just need a little more here. If you notice, there's a lot on the edge of the ties. That's where it starts to weather. The first is right on the edge of the wood here. Just like that. Maybe get the other side of these here. That looks pretty good. Okay, here's an area that I ballasted already by the crossing. This is about all the track that I've stripped. The track I have ballast is right here. But as you can see, there is my, on the left hand side is the main line and then the passing siding on the right hand side. So anyway, please like and subscribe, and I'll keep these videos coming.